Hello. Welcome back. This is the M2 Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Anthony. My co-host right here is KyleHeath. Sorry, we've been away for like a week. I don't know if you guys follow us on Twitter or anything like that. I was up on vacation. I got married. My boy Kyle over here was sick as a dog, unfortunately. He got a fresh new haircut. Big fan of it. You kind of remind me a little bit of Blink-182's Matt Hoppus with like
Mark Hoppus,
when he was going through that like faux hawk kind of era.
yeah.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, dude, Mark Hoppus had like those super long like spike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I need to go through that. Yeah, but anyways, so this is the show where we covered the last week. Technically, this one's probably the last 2 weeks of gaming industry related news. And this topics, like the topics that we're going to be covering is some unionization between the different industry. Probably what would you say, companies, big name companies.
Yeah.
There's an FTC update with Microsoft and the Xbox Game Pass. And 8-Bit Do, they dropped a new gamepad completely made of metal, which I'm pretty stoked to cover. And there's a new, what would you say, a new studio that's going to be opened up by the makers of Helldivers 2 and Battlefield.
Brand new,
So,
baby. Brand new.
Pretty good to see when there's been tons and tons of layoffs. But without further ado, Kyle, like, what have you been up to, man? How was your last, technically, like, week and a half, 2 weeks?
It's, not bad. Kind of just doing summer things, chilling out. Kind of getting prepared. I've been up in my style game a little bit, trying to like revamp some stuff, like going through the closet, buying some new things,
cool.
kind of see what I should retire, sort of thing. Yeah, got some trips coming up, so I want to make sure that we looking good on the trips, so
Heck yeah,
making
dude.
that kind of a priority to get that straight. Yeah, dude. Just kind of like getting excited for the rest of the summer and getting into that fall season soon. Like got football starting up again in a month, so it's kind of just like getting hype about that again. So yeah, man, I'm just chilling really. I did play some college football 25.
Along with it seemed like everybody was playing that this last week.
Yeah.
I saw everything all over Twitter about it.
Yeah.
How's the game?
Yeah, it's honestly really good, man. I'm enjoying it. As someone who didn't really play the old college football games, like I don't know, I'm just kind of fresh to it. But I don't know, it's fun. It's interesting. I don't find it too difficult, which is good. So it's fun to hop in and play some. But like even playing against just like the AI and stuff and the bots is fun, and it can actually pose a pretty decent challenge depending on the difficulty you end up picking. So they have like kind of a road to glory thing I've been playing. So it's like you start off as like an incoming freshman and you kind of get like 4 years. And throughout that you start at one school and you can like transfer to other schools like throughout your like college career, and it goes all the way up until senior year, and then I think you end up eventually like retiring or something after that, so you just start a new character. But it's kind of cool. You get like you kind of simulate like the college football experience on this, which I think is interesting. There's things where you have to like maintain like your GPA and stuff like that too. Like it's not just like playing football. It's like there's a whole system for it, and
dude,
like making sure you keep up with studies and like NIL and all that. And it's like all involved. So it's pretty detailed in this mode. But yeah, it's been fun to play, and like a couple of my buddies got it as well. So I'm enjoying it, and experiencing it at our own paces. And yeah, it's I don't know, it's been a lot of fun though. I've been enjoying it. And like I'm just playing as a quarterback, but you could play as like a bunch of different positions. I think you can play as like wide receiver or running back, or you can play as like a middle linebacker or tight end. Like there's a lot of different positions you could play as. But obviously most people probably going to do a quarterback.
It's basically a role playing game now.
Essentially, yeah, it's like a whole like thing. So it's a whole section of it. There's obviously like head to head and stuff. If you just want to do like play as like your favorite team for a game and like face whatever team you want really. So there's kind of that. And there's even an online mode, but I haven't even touched the online mode. I don't know. I may touch it at some point, but I'm just enjoying kind of the simulation kind of stuff of the season. So that's really what I've been playing. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's been fun. Outside of that, I don't know if I really touched much else game wise. I think that was pretty much it. Got a decent amount of hours in college football, but I don't know. Outside of that, didn't really play too much else. But I gotta know, Mike. You've been a busy man these past couple weeks. Have you had any chance at all to play anything?
Well, last night I basically played classic Halo 2 on the old Xbox.
Okay.
for maybe like 2 or 3 hours. Way too long because I woke up pretty late to get to start to my day. Um, yeah, it was fun. I was playing on Insignia. Remember I told you about that? How they brought the old Xbox Live servers back up
Oh yeah.
for Halo 2? Yeah, I was playing that with a couple of buddies of mine, and we were just grinding, going through the games. Played against a full team of 4 for a while, and then we lost somebody. They had to go to bed, and then it was just 3v3s. So it was fun. It was like really nostalgic, and I don't know. I had a good time. So that's pretty much all the gaming I've been doing. I've been meaning to do even more. Uh, like with how busy I've been, things are finally starting to slow down. Like after this weekend, it's gonna be we're chilling, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like finally having some actual time and no stress just to come home and not have to do something or go
Yeah.
take care of something, just to sit down and like really just game or stream again or like help you with editing videos and stuff for the pod. Like
Yeah.
that's going to becoming more of a thing for me going into this month of August at least. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be nice.
Sure. Yeah. Get back
Yeah.
into the swing of things. Hopefully,
Fun. Yeah,
hopefully we'll all
seriously.
just be kind of getting back into our own thing. And yeah, dude, it's a good time. Into summer, it's starting to wind down a little bit. So
Yeah, man.
yeah.
It's winding down. I got a bunch of like concerts and stuff coming up too. So
Yeah.
that'll be good.
It's
But
funny enough. I
yeah.
have one coming up too. I think next week. So it's like right around the corner. But yeah, so I feel you
Which one are
there.
you gonna go see?
I'm going to see the band Camino. I don't know if it's a band you've heard of, but they're kind of like a
Camina? Is it
smaller.
with a K?
The band Camino with a C. It's like Camino. Um, but yeah, they're like they're sort of like I don't know, like pop rock. I guess you'd classify them as. It's kind of one of those bands, but
It's alternate indie. You know, indie's on the rise now.
yeah. Yeah, I'd
Like,
classify it as indie. I mean, that's yeah, all right. But dude, yeah, I mean, it's one of those bands like I've listened to like a couple of their songs throughout the years, but I've never like deep dived into their catalog. It's like the past couple
yeah.
weeks after I bought the ticket, I was like, yeah, I'll like deep dive a little bit and kind of see. So I've been like listening to a lot of their stuff lately, and I've been enjoying some of their stuff. It's definitely like that very. It's very like what I like about it is it's very rock centric. So you have like a bunch of instruments and they use them and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like actual music kind of thing. Not to like diss like,
Yeah,
pop music, but
it's live music, I think. Right? Like
yeah,
live
exactly.
instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think right now, like for me, you'll know this band. I'm gonna go see Taking Back Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
Like for technically it's the second week of August.
Yeah.
Problem is all the old bands that I want to go see. Most of them are like older, so the shows that we get a chance to see are just always during the week. Like you never get weekend. Those are like
Yeah.
reserved for the
Yeah.
really big headlining bands.
Yeah.
Like I saw what you got right now, and just on the schedule, you're gonna see them also. You get them on a
Yeah,
Friday.
I get them on a
That'll be
good
good.
day. I got
Yeah,
lucky. I like looked, and the funny thing is, like, they actually didn't originally have the show. It was Charlotte was the closest, but Charlotte
yeah.
sold out like almost immediately. So they added another night, but then they also
Really?
added this show, like down here. So, but yeah, it originally they weren't going to do a show on this day, on that, or at least on that day, but then they added it last minute. So like for
No,
sure.
I can get tickets right now on
Yeah,
Live Nation, but they might be resell.
yeah, a lot of them probably resell. I think they may be doing 2 nights. I can't remember, but I know originally it was just one, and it sold out pretty fast. So, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's yeah, I don't know. They've been like a lot of their shows are like low ticket too around the country. So like they're actually starting to like they're gonna need to upgrade venues probably next tour. Didn't
Well,
have a decent
the
audience.
venue that they're going to in Charlotte's actually like a pretty decent sized venue. It's
Yeah,
not a small venue,
yeah.
so
I think I've been to that venue, but it was like back in like 2016. I think it was a long time ago.
was it in the Music Factory? Because there's 3 different venues there.
Think it was, yeah, but it
Yeah,
was, it was the
yeah.
bigger one I remember than like the smaller
Indoor.
one. Yeah, it was indoor. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. If it's the bigger one, then yeah, it's the same one they're going to right now.
yeah,
It's pretty sick.
yeah.
But I think we should stop talking about music because I think you and I have a passion for music and we can talk about it forever.
Probably
But we
could.
also have we also have a passion for like the gaming industry and what's going on.
We sure do.
So
We sure do.
how about we jump into some, I guess, boring legal matters, but it's mostly like an update of what
Yeah,
happened while we were
yeah.
gone.
True. we covered on the last podcast the Microsoft raising the prices of Game Pass at pretty much every tier. We knew it was inevitable, but kind of the way it was kind of pushed and kind of the incentives. It's like there's a debate now growing of like whether or not it's actually worth it, especially the ultimate tier. So that's still ongoing. But some update to that is that FTC is quote they're blasting Microsoft's new degraded Xbox Game Pass standard tier and price increases. It's coming from Tom Warren at The Verge. Tom Warren, senior editor, the GOAT. I see him on Twitter all the time, spitting memes out, getting tons of likes. He's out here. The regulator isn't happy with Microsoft's Game Pass changes. So, said the Federal Trade Commission has blasted Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass price increases in a filing to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. Microsoft revealed last week that it's increasing PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate prices and planning to launch a new Game Pass standard tier soon without day one access to first-party Xbox games. The FTC calls the new Game Pass standard tier a degraded product because new Game Pass members won't be able to sign up for the $11 Game Pass for console, which includes day one game access. Instead, Xbox Game Pass standard will be priced at $15 and won't include day one games, but it will include online multiplayer. Microsoft's price increases and product degradation, combined with Microsoft's reduced investments in output and product quality via employee layoffs, are the hallmarks of a firm exercising market power post-merger, the FTC said in a filing today. Product degradation, removing the most valuable games from Microsoft's new service, combined with price increases for existing users, is exactly the sort of consumer harm from the merger the FTC has alleged. Dude, they're kind of coming in hot on Microsoft. They said, listen, buddy. Can't be doing this.
This is good, man. Like, to call out the BS. Because we were kind of going off a little bit last time.
Yeah.
It's like the price changes because, what's his name? Phil Spencer said multiple times, he's like, no, we're not going to raise any of the prices or anything like that for the membership. We're not going to do that. And then Daddy Microsoft comes in and says, oh, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And now you at least get like a regulator coming in, just, hey, this is messed up, guys.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I think the big thing for me was removing that day one access on that one, on like the standard tier. It's like, dude, come on.
That's
like
kind of rough.
Man. Yeah, it's like that's so rough. Because that's like the main reason I think a lot of people were like so invested in the Game Pass that you got so much to offer on day one, like no matter the tier. And now it's just like, if you just buy the base tier, like you don't get that. It's like, it's weird. It's like to see how that's going to change kind of thing.
Well, the other thing is too, doesn't Steam have a rule where if you buy the game, like this really only matters if you have PC, right? But doesn't Steam have a rule that if you buy the game and you only play a certain amount of hours, then you can return it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
I think it's like that 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, I would rather do that than have to pay $11 to not get the day one Game Pass.
Yeah.
Just
like be able to return it at some point. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird. We'll finish the rest of the article here. So, and I will. Oh, I was hoping this was like 70 pages because I was gonna I'll read this and then I'll read the 70-page outline. But FTC actually has a short little kind of file here. Anyway,
yeah.
The filing is part of an ongoing appeal lodged by the FTC against a district court's decision not to block Activision Blizzard acquisition last year. Microsoft finalized a $68.7 billion deal in October, but the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals still hasn't ruled on the FTC's appeal yet. And yeah, there at the end of the article is the letter that was sent regarding these degradations of products, removing certain parts of certain tiers. It's probably a lot of legal speaking here. So
yeah, let me read the last paragraph because it's a good take. So, importantly, Microsoft's actions are inconsistent with Microsoft's representatives below. Microsoft's price increases coincide with adding Call of Duty to Game Pass' most expensive tier, and discontinuing the console tier will happen shortly before releasing COD's newest game. Below, Microsoft promised that, and in quotes, the acquisition would benefit consumers by making COD available on Microsoft's Game Pass on the day it is released on console, with no price increase for the service based on the acquisition. And then it says Microsoft's post-merger actions thus vindicate the congressional design of preliminary halting mergers to fully evaluate their likely competitive effects and judicial skepticism of promises inconsistent with the firm's economic incentives. That basically means the FTC said, we saw this coming and now we got to audit it. And I feel kind of like a clown because I think you and I were defending Microsoft and being like, this is such a good idea for Microsoft and Xbox to merge it, having day one Call of Duty. That's so sick because I absolutely lose my mind every time a new COD comes out. It's like $70. It's just a graphics upgrade, maybe a campaign if you're lucky. And the appeal of this Game Pass being a day one release for COD was like, oh yeah, finally. That's really good news, right?
Let's go.
But now it's like, oh no, by the way, psych. Now I have the most expensive tier, the Game Pass Ultimate. So for me, it doesn't really affect me. I'm gonna keep it. But for somebody like the vast majority of people, I don't think have that. Most people probably have the base tier or whatever tier that you need.
I got the PC tier. That's what I got.
Yeah,
the ultimate tier. Oh man, it's funny.
Wait, is that the ultimate tier?
No, well, so
I thought there's 3 tiers.
There's PC Game Pass, which is like a separate thing. It's like Game Pass Core, I think, which is like for console.
And the ultimate's all of them.
There may be one more, but I know Ultimate's literally everything. So
yeah,
console.
That's what I got because it's like I bought a Samsung tablet to do the cloud gaming. I have an Xbox Series X that I actually need to move into the living room soon, and the just because like I want to play Elden Ring and that's a great place to play it. Like on the TV. That's the plan for the future. Side note, and then the PC's in here, so it's like I use that. I will use that. Yeah. But for other people, you don't need that. It's like it's a luxury item.
Yeah. Well, one of my roommates got a Series X to play college football because he actually, like, I think he had some like pre-credit or something.
Oh, is that the picture that you took in the living room?
Yeah. So that was on a Series X. But yeah, so like we have a Series X now, so it's one of those things like new games come out, I might just buy for Series X. And like if the new GTA comes out, I was going to get on PS5, and now it's like might as well just get on Series X. So we're just end up doing that. But yeah, besides the point. I kind of agree. It's like, I feel like we're kind of swindled a little bit because like, Xbox is like promoting this like awesome thing, like especially for the Call of Duty. I think it's a good point made by the FTC is like, you were promoting like Call of Duty Day 1, how that was gonna be so big. And like conveniently you're raising the price before that game comes out. Like the new one comes out. It's like very convenient, right? So dude,
maybe they expect to lose some money because most people in the past had to buy the game.
Yeah,
that's a $70 game. One of the most expensive, not the most expensive, the most popular IPs in shooters by far. I think. I mean, maybe not by far. I would put in like the top 3 probably, right? Like, I'm not gonna list them all, but Counter Strike's number 1. That's pretty easy.
CS.
Yeah, CS for sure. I would think. I don't even think Overwatch. Like Overwatch, Valorant.
Put that like 4. I don't know. Honestly,
yeah,
I think
probably 4. Like it's about like 4 years ago. It was definitely like really high up there, but they've lost a lot of traction.
I think it goes Counter Strike, Plants vs Zombies, and then Brotato. So that's the top 3. And
Is Brotato out yet?
I don't think so. I want to play that game.
No, I don't think so. I think it's next year actually.
Yeah,
that will be or like High on Life. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, all memes, right? Obviously, COD. I definitely put COD probably top 3, but yeah, it's it's a popular game, right? So then getting that is certainly what I think one of Microsoft's end goals. So I don't know, dude. I feel swindled and picked. You know what I'm saying, Mike? I feel like
oh my gosh. Hold on, I just want to Google it because like I feel like some people might find some interest in this. This is on Twitch. Okay, it's not based on players, but it gives you more of the game players, right? The more of the games. The top 4 of viewable content on Twitch. Number 1's Valorant, Counter Strike, Apex Legends, and then it goes Call of Duty. This could be out of date though. There's a chance, but I mean, there's other games. We're also freaking about like PUBG if you want to go the mobile aspect, but let's not go down that route.
Yeah, there's a rabbit hole there. That's what I'm saying, Mike. We may very well have to dedicate some of an episode someday to a shooter tier list. We might just have to.
I'm totally down for that, actually.
That would be amazing.
I am down for that. And we would have to do it in the totality of the IP.
Yeah.
We can't
for sure.
do it
you can't do
per game because it's like, how many Call of Duty games are there really? Like 17?
Yeah, no.
There's a lot.
There's enough shooters.
And that's before you.
There's enough you could do it by IP. have a decent
Yeah,
amount to choose from. So
I think so. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, we should definitely do that at least for like a segment.
yeah,
You know,
be
like
fun.
like
Be
a
fun.
like a YouTube short or TikTok short or something
Yeah,
like that. We'll get into it.
for
But
sure. But
yeah,
hey,
I just
look,
want to read that last paragraph
yeah,
after
no, I
all.
think it's a very relevant paragraph and a very kind of relevant point that the article maybe doesn't quite get at.
Hmm.
So yeah, yeah, dude. Let's bring something to it, man. I'm just feeling a certain
Yeah.
type of way now. I'm like, play Marvin's Room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy out
Well,
here.
this just real quick. This stuff isn't done. We're probably gonna get more updates going through the year, just because this was a court filing by the FTC
Right.
in the Court of Appeals of the United States. So it is not going away anytime soon. So we'll keep our eyes peeled and then let the people stay up to date.
Sure. I think, we haven't talked about a nice solid controller in a while, Mike.
Literally solid, dude. Yeah,
Literally.
I'm really excited you found this, and I have an 8-bit do. I always say 8-bit dough, but I know it's do,
Yeah.
right?
I'm
It's got to be
assuming it's
do.
due. I couldn't
Yeah,
tell you,
8-bit do. Yeah. Anyways, so these consoles, for anybody that isn't aware, the reason why it's 8-bit is because some of the consoles are very retro inspired, is what I should say. They have plenty of controllers that are very similar to more modern titles. Um, but this is pretty cool. They decided to make one of their games or one of their gamepads out of metal, and that's pretty badass, I think. I mean, I got this that's what this is, the Thrustmaster. Ooh, it's kind of dusty. It's been a while since I've been in here. Yeah.
That's nice.
I like mix and match kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
that's made of metal as well. Mostly like plastic parts, but a lot of metal in it. I like the heaviness, which is funny because did you remember taking out like rumble packs and stuff like that to make your controller lighter?
I do remember that, yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that's all about the light controllers.
Yeah, now people are making this out of like
Now
metal
it's like,
now. It's
yeah, I think oh man, a long session on this? I don't know. It's gonna
dude,
feel a
this is
certain way.
sick. So for anybody that doesn't know what this looks like, it's the old school. It looks like the old school classic, what like Super Nintendo
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
controller.
With joysticks.
Yeah, with joysticks. It's very cool. But let me go ahead and read the article. This is by Andrew Liszewski, I believe. So
Kaluski.
Andrew over at The Verge wrote this article. It says nearly everything on 8-bit Dough's hefty $100 gamepad is made of metal. At 381 grams, you probably won't know. You probably won't want to throw this limited edition controller. Ooh, limited edition. Now I got to buy it.
Oh
Uh,
man. Dude. Heavy.
8-bit. I'm just gonna call it 8-bits.
Yeah.
It's
Just
shorter.
short
It's
it.
sweeter. Yeah. So 8-bits shiny silver and gold finished 11th edition or anniversary, sorry. SN30 Pro gamepad features housing and controls made of so much metal that they weigh in at 381 grams, almost an entire pound. As spotted by Polygon, the company went nearly all in on the metal facelift from its SN30 Pro gamepad with a D-pad, action buttons, shoulder triggers, and even joysticks all made of metal zinc alloy material.
Dude.
Okay,
Sounds nice though. Zinc alloy.
it does. To be quite honest, I wanted that stainless steel, brother.
Ooh,
Wanted that
okay,
stainless
okay.
steel. That would have been
Okay.
sick. Yeah. Or titanium. Titanium
Dude,
controllers. It'd
wouldn't
be
that be
like
heavy though? That'd be like
no, it'd be really light
is it light?
actually.
Oh yeah. I
Oh yeah,
can't
titanium's
remember
like
what titanium
very
say.
light, but it's it's rare, which is why it's so expensive. It's hard
Yeah.
to handle, and it is very strong but light.
Yeah. Maybe I'm
Now,
thinking
if
of tungsten. I think tungsten might be denser.
tungsten is very dense. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
Anyways.
yeah. Titanium is a very strong metal compound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's in iPhones. I think it's
it is. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
tons of it. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I think yeah. iPhones notoriously, I don't know if they do now, but like the rim that was around the iPhone
Yeah.
was titanium. A
Yeah.
lot of people wear like titanium rings,
Yeah.
like wedding
Yeah.
bands and
Dude, they
stuff.
look nice too. So
They're smooth. Yeah, they're very tough, man. No joke. I
yeah.
knew a professional BMX rider that had his entire bike made of titanium.
Yeah,
It's
that goes
wild.
hard. That sounds like
Yeah,
it
it
goes
was a
hard.
very light bike too. Very strong. So yeah, anyhow, let's get into it. So the controller won't just feel satisfyingly hefty in hand for its size. The beefy Xbox Duke controller weighed 425 grams, while the original SNES gamepad was just 79 grams. So do you know the so is it the original Xbox controller, Duke? I have it right over there if you want to see what that crap looks like.
Dude, I always love looking at the Dukes, dude. It's like they're just like so unnecessarily beefy.
So bad.
It's just like you look at it, you're like
despised controller.
It's like you're sitting here, you're thinking like I know Xbox is a brand new like console, like an Xbox is a brand new concept, but it's like that out of all controller designs and all iterations you probably did, like that's what you came up with to ship.
To be honest, the reason why it was so innovative, other than the joysticks are god awful. But the position of the joysticks are fine. Just like the way they were literally shaped was really terrible. Everything about that controller is relatively okay and like ergonomic. That's what they were trying to go for. Remember, this is the age where they were like over designing keyboards like with the wave patterns, and the mouse was like super ergonomic.
Yeah, it was a cool little ball, and you didn't even like move your hand.
Yeah, like for whatever reason back then, in like the early 2000s, they got really obsessed with just making everything very like
trying to just overdo
form fitting,
ergonomic, and
very silly. But anyhow, this
do you have an early memory of your first time using a Duke controller? First picked it up and you're like, what is this?
playing Halo CE at my buddy's house, and he gave me that controller. Keep in mind, at that time we were probably 11 years old, so we're like tiny kids. He gave me that controller so he could use the S type, which is the one that everybody else knows. Yeah, and he smoked me and like Halo CE, and I was like, dude, I can't like use this controller.
And then you realize it's the controller.
Yeah, it's because you had to be a full grown man, like with big hands to use it.
A console meant for adults.
And that's what happens. Just like engineers over designing things, not thinking about who the product's actually for.
Yeah,
it's like who's more likely to play games, a very business grown adult or a kid with nothing to do after 2:30 every day. You know what I mean?
It's true, dude. It's true.
Yeah. But let me get into this last bit of the article. It's literally the last paragraph. But for $100, the limited edition gamepad is lacking some modern features. There's no mention of including Hall effect joysticks like the $40 plastic version of the SN30 Pro. There's no wireless connectivity, and compatibility is limited to only the Nintendo Switch and Windows PCs. The colors should pair well with the new Hyrule Edition Switch Lite, which I mean is going to be a collector's edition for anybody that likes to do that. But you can get so much more for less. Well, I mean, this is a luxury item, I think. Mr. Andrew over here at The Verge. I think anybody that's out here buying this controller, I think they're doing it because it's metal, not because it's wireless, not because it has Hall effect. Like, you're doing that because it looks really cool.
Yeah, dude.
And you might want to put it in like a case, or you just want to say that you have it. It's one of those kind of items.
It's a statement piece, but also if you're just trying to, if you got $100 to piss away, dude, and you want to get a new controller, like, there you go, dude. This is the controller for you. Yeah, I think most people will be concerned if there's like Hall effect joysticks in it. Albeit, if there were, that'd be clean, because then it's like no stick drift on a metal controller. But it's definitely not a high priority, I would imagine, on a controller like this.
No, not a shot. I do think it's pretty cool though. I like the idea of, I mean, having a few of those. I think they intentionally made it wired because it looks so similar to the original one for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
That it's like the novelty of having it, but at the same time, it's novelty with the twist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know how some people build old cars and they refurbish them and then they add a couple twists, like tinting the old windows on a hot rod that's from like the 60s.
Yeah.
And then putting in an upgraded engine. But it still kind of looks like
it's like
the same thing. That's what it is.
It's you add your own style to it, right? Your own signature. It's like, I did all this work. Let me do something, just make it my own kind of thing. So it's kind of like that. But I would like to think.
I view this.
I mean, I would like to think this controller could have a wireless version. Like, part of me is like, oh, they wouldn't be able to because it's metal. But like, no, they'd probably be able to if they really wanted to. But I could appreciate the cord, I guess.
You 100% can. Yeah, wireless signals can travel through metal, despite what some people believe.
Yeah, very fascinating stuff. But dude, I could just stare at this thing though for a long time and just bask in the glory.
Dude, it's essentially a collector's item, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I do metal controllers, man. Who knows? This is never going to be the norm. I'm telling you right now, everyone, like, we're never going to see, like,
No.
a console just try and include metal in the controllers, because, like, at the end of the day, it's like, I think everyone kind of prefers light over, maybe even over looks. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's light, like, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think buying this as a because it's a metal controller, you don't have any intentions on it being cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not at all,
So,
dude. Not at all.
well, enough ranting about the controller. How about we jump into a new studio?
Oh,
Like, switch it up just a little bit. Let's get into some business, dude.
like, do you like Scarabs? You
I
fan
do.
neutral?
Yes.
You kind of just like,
Yeah,
like
Scarabs are cool. Yeah.
hey, they're pretty sick.
Have you seen? Is it the blue beetle or the purple beetle
I
or
feel like
whatever?
I have seen that. And then
It's the movie.
Mm.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
logo looks very similar to it.
Okay.
Scarabs are cool.
Yeah. Seems like they may have stolen a logo, but hey, I'm not here to judge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, possibly.
Blue Scarab. So, what we're talking about is Blue Scarab Entertainment. It's formed by Helldivers 2 and Battlefield alums, with funding from NetEase Games and Raw Fury, of the new Stockholm-based studios focusing on its MMORPG project. It's come from Justin Carter, over a game developer, covered him many times. A new developer by the name of Blue Scarab Entertainment is formed over in Stockholm, Sweden, securing $7 million in funding for its debut project, an MMORPG running on Unreal Engine 5. I like what I'm hearing. Unreal Engine 5
Yeah.
MMORPG. See, this is the thing about MMOs. I feel like I could very easily just put on rose-colored glasses and be like, oh, an MMO, let's go. This is going to be like RuneScape, like peak WoW. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be it, but, trying to temper my expectations. The funding round was led by NetEase Games, which has previously invested in startups like Rebel Wolves. Other key contributors include Behold Ventures, Raw Fury founder Jonas Antonsen, and Creedom founder Stefan Lindeberg.
We covered NetEase Games not too long ago, maybe like a month ago.
It's true, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, their whole intention was to basically do startups just like this, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. So, Blue Scarab will be led by CEO Colin Craig and CTO Inno Railing. I got you.
Yeah, Rawling. Right.
Got you, Inno. I don't know if that's right, but hey, sorry, Inno. So, both have extensive experience with MMOs. Craig directed and designed Funcom's Anarchy Online, while Railing was a programmer on the same game and also Dreamfall: The Longest Journey. Other notable additions include DICE veteran Craig Morrison, operating here as studio director, Helldivers 2 community director, Ashley, the community director. Let's go, Ashley. I think it was the same one that got like toasted from
Yeah, I got cooked.
from Helldivers. Yeah, let's go. Systems designer Guillaume. I almost, every time I see that, I just think Guillemot, like Yves Guillemot, and I see like the double L.
Yeah.
Guillaume, I hope I'm saying that right. Lawyer, we'll see. Principal game designer. So there appear to be about 20 full-time employees in total who have all worked on titles such as World of Warcraft, IMVU, and Star Sable Online. According to Morrison, Blue Scarab's first project will combine cozy escapism and true crime. Okay, true crime. I was not expecting true crime.
No, neither was I. Not from these two like past installments. Helldivers 2 and Battlefield. Now you're going to true crime.
Okay. You got me intrigued a little bit. I'm getting a little excited.
What you got? Maybe something new for the genre.
All right, let's see. Here's the thing though, Mike. Its aim is to fuse and involve previous gaming and media experiences into something new and fresh for this expanded community. Innovation through iteration can be very powerful, he continued. Our goal is to bring all of the expertise that our team has accumulated to forge new experiences for a wider audience than ever before. At the time of writing, Blue Scarab doesn't appear to be hiring, but its own website notes that its status as a hybrid and remote workplace. Okay, dude.
Okay.
And true crime MMO. You got me. You got me intrigued. I want to see some trailers, dude. Can't wait to see what comes out of this.
Yeah. Like this is something to definitely be excited about. Just, I'm intrigued. I'm already jumping on the website trying to see what's going on.
Yeah. Dude, every time I think true crime, though, it just immediately takes me back to LA Noire. Kind of that, like, very, like, kind of 40s, like, noir crime. Like, I don't know, it probably won't be that far back, but yeah, dude, I like, just, I love that aesthetic. So, I'm excited to see kind of what this is. And, like, true crime in an MMO, like, like the quests, I feel like would almost write themselves. Like you'd be able to easily write some quests and kind of have some good stories there. But I'm curious to see the MMO aspect. Like if I'm like am I like a detective or am I like a robber? Like am I developing certain skills and like robbery or like investigation if I'm taking a certain path? There's a lot of ideas here that you can really flesh on.
Yeah, I mean, it's so early in the process, you can kind of speculate about anything right now.
Yeah.
Uh, it looks like they have a pretty solid team, looking like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, 19 people on their website, all senior level, looks like programmers, designers. Pretty cool. Looks like they might have a solid team going on here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
I don't know.
exciting.
It's definitely something to keep an eye out for. It's really cool to see. I don't want to say a resurgence, just kind of an update of what NetEase Games has been doing. And yeah, I mean, we covered them before, so it's good to see continuity of that vision that NetEase wanted to do of just
Yeah.
like providing funding to new development to inspire new developers to get new games off the ground. It's very cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always good to hear about the new studios, right? So it's starting
Yeah.
stuff there. But I have to ask, if you had a path in a true crime game, Mike, would you want to be the thief or like, something like that? Or would you want to be like the justice, the detective, like, wearing the like, the old school fedora, like smoking a cigarette, like showing up to the scene saying where they at? Kind of
Mm,
what's the vibe Mike would go with?
okay, let me give you the vibe. All right. Yeah, here's the vibe. So I'll give you the vision. Most
Okay.
people know the Dark Knight, right?
Oh, okay,
So the
okay.
Dark Knight, Batman,
Yep.
with the Joker. We get to see everything from the Batman's point of view. I
Okay.
want to be the Joker, and I want to be like terrified of getting caught.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
okay.
So I
Okay.
want to be the criminal that gets away with like the perfect crime, or like I don't want to do like murder, but
Yeah.
get away with murder, like what is it like metaphorically? You know,
Okay, okay.
not like rob a bank, but just like some type of heist or like stealing paint or something like that from a
Stealing
museum
some
that's
art?
highly
Oh,
guarded.
dude, yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
crazy.
like, and then I
Yeah.
want to be really entrenched and involved, and then pathologically lying to everybody around me so that I don't get caught.
Yeah, okay,
Because I don't
okay.
think there's ever been a game like that.
Okay. You gotta kinda keep up your image of, this kind
Yes.
of mysterious,
Yeah, but
like
you
that.
also have obligations to people in the underground.
Oh, yeah, that have,
So
like,
you have to
helped you
lie.
and you, like, have debts and
Yeah.
stuff, like, yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, something happens where, like, the person that was your driver all of a sudden gets, like, caught doing something else shady, and the only way he
Oh.
can get off, or she can get off, is if they give you up or give evidence to put you behind bars for the crime that you originally committed.
Man,
You know what I mean?
dude,
Like, to rat out to
yeah,
save themselves for a different crime that's unrelated to the incident. So
yeah.
then you got a choice. It's like, I might have to take out the mole, you know? My
You really go down fast here.
dead man tell no tales, and then all of a sudden you're a murderer and you gotta get over that. Like, you never
Man,
know.
man.
Could just
Yeah,
be an insane
I'm
arc.
liking it.
That
Oh,
that would
yeah.
be what I wanna do.
I'm liking it. It's high anxiety and high intensity, but I think there's definitely an
Mhm.
audience, dude. Yeah, I mean, we could speculate forever. There's so many different paths I could take with this, but I like that. Just being like, you are the criminal, but like your goal is to just try and keep your name clean as long as possible. Just try and
Exactly, yeah.
get
Yeah.
out. So
It's like in GTA when you used to rob a bank, and if you just drive really slow around the cops, they don't know.
it's like 1 star, nothing.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, dude, love
Yeah,
it. Yeah, dude.
and then things get way out of hand.
Yeah. That's the thing, dude. This game could go so many different directions. I'm excited to see more. But yeah, I did the true crime just gets my imagination just like spinning like crazy. So,
Oh, yeah, I
uh,
know that's totally your genre,
yeah,
and, well, I guess all we can really say is, 1, cool, NetEase Games,
yeah,
again, popping back up, that's always good. You got professionals that are well established and coming from IPs that were highly successful. Battlefield, one of the most successful shooters of all time. And then you got Helldivers 2, which was like a sensation before Sony put their little greedy paws in it. And now they have like the pretty cool logo. So
yeah.
you gotta have a cool logo if you're a new business.
It's true, man. It's true. Yeah, a lot of good out of this. So excited
Yeah.
to see more for
And
sure.
last thing, Unreal Engine 5. That's all I gotta say
The
about
other
that.
thing, that's the other thing that gets me intrigued, dude. True crime, Unreal Engine 5, MMO. Like,
Oh yeah.
My brain's spinning, dude. My brain is spinning. Listen, it's time we go into the union section of the pod, Mike. Start discussing some unionization, some big ones, we must say.
Yeah. So we got back-to-back topics on unions, and it looks like our order is a little bit backwards. So hold on real quick. Let me correct this on the we have a Word document that Kyle and I over here share to keep track of what the heck's going on when we're ranting. But anyways, this one is coming from game developer Chris Kerr. I want to say it's Chris Carr because that's what it is out in Raleigh, North Carolina. There's a whole family named Carr, spelled the same way.
Okay.
So, hey, good thing to know right there.
I'm right.
We'll see. Maybe he's related. Yeah. So, anyways, the title of the article is World of Warcraft developers form wall-to-wall union at Blizzard Entertainment. To be quite honest, I thought this was already mentioned maybe a couple years ago because of all the terrible things that were going on in Activision Blizzard with all the workplace misconduct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if any union was formed. I think they may have tried to start one.
I think so too. And then maybe compensation came through, or that might have been around the same time when Activision Blizzard decided to be bought out by Microsoft.
Yeah, could be a lot of things, but yeah. It seems like it was a past development, but here we are.
Yeah. All right, so the new unit comprises over 500 developers representing the entire World of Warcraft development team. So the Communications Workers of America, CWA, they're basically a giant union that look after other unions kind of thing. Probably the easiest way to try to explain that. Has confirmed that over 500 employees at Blizzard's Entertainment have formed a wall-to-wall union at the Microsoft-owned studio. They love bringing up how it's Microsoft-owned now, especially because of the bad PR Microsoft's getting over their Game Pass.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. It's all about brand tarnishing. Let's get it. The new unit is called World of Warcraft Game Makers Guild, WoW GG-CWA, and comprises the entire World of Warcraft development team, including designers, engineers, artists, quality assurance testers, and more. Another 60-person unit of Blizzard QA testers called Texas Blizzard QA United CWA has formed simultaneously in Austin, Texas. Staff were able to organize without interference thanks to a seismic labor neutrality agreement that was struck in 2022. That agreement was subsequently extended to other Microsoft employees within ZeniMax, paving the way for almost 250 workers at Bethesda Game Studios to unionize earlier this week. Maybe that's what I was thinking about, the labor neutrality agreement that we covered in 2022. Dang, it's kind of crazy we've been doing this podcast that long. Side note about the CWA and just worker unionizations. This week, it was approved in U.S. court by a U.S. judge that non-compete clauses are void and are banned. And that will go through in September 4th. Now, I don't know if anybody listens to us from a different country, but we have non-compete clauses here that sometimes you have to sign before you leave your company, which means you can't go compete or work for a direct competitor within the same town, same industry, that kind of thing. And it basically means you would have to move towns in certain circumstances.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not a good thing. So they got rid of that entirely, and that's pretty cool. That's a good thing. Yeah.
Show.
Let me continue. So the CWA said Blizzard's latest union represents a, quote, significant milestone, end quote, in a journey that began when employees walked out and rallied at Blizzard's Entertainment HQ in California in 2021 to protest Activision Blizzard's response to the California DFEH sexual harassment lawsuit. Yes. Remember that? That's one of the things I was like, we got to get out of here. Yeah, that was a wild walkout. I think World of Warcraft struggled that day too, in terms of servers and stuff. Even people on the game stopped playing because of just how outrageous. I know people to this day that grew up playing World of Warcraft and they're done playing Activision Blizzard games.
Yeah, it's insane, man.
Yeah. So this victory, and this is a quote by CWA, by the way. This victory underscores the growing momentum of worker organizing in the video game industry and will hopefully continue to inspire other video game workers to form unions and raise industry-wide expectations for pay, benefits, and respect for workers' rights. That's a good point, and we can tie into the AI, voice models, voice creators, AI artists. like the use of AI in general that are taking up a lot of jobs for basically like the artisan labor force, like video game creators. And I mean, this is just to me is just a growing trend of what's to come.
Sure is, dude.
Yeah. So, all right. Unionized Blizzard devs want to ensure every voice matters, in quotes. Speaking to a game developer about their decision to unionize, Blizzard senior software engineer Kevin Vig,
It's like Kevin
whatever.
Feige, but not Feige.
Y-
It's Feige.
yeah,
That's
that's what I
what
wanted to
my
say.
brain
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. Said the unit hopes to make good on the company's mantra, every voice matters. Okay. This is what they said. By forming a cross-disciplinary union, we seek to enshrine that value and ensure that the developers of World of Warcraft, QA included, which is very important. Some of those people are only getting paid like hourly on temp contracts
That's bad.
for the
That's so
QA.
bad.
Yeah. Will always have a voice in our workplace. They go on to continue saying that we want to both improve our working conditions and protect the things we love about Blizzard. Also, we can feel secure in pouring our talent and passion into making World of Warcraft. Kevin explained that World of Warcraft team was inspired by the unionization efforts at ZeniMax, Sega, and other studios that have made a collective push for better working conditions. Their resolve, he added, was only strengthened by the wave of mass layoffs and studio closures that had carved through the gaming industry. Yeah, I
Yeah.
that last one is like it's only strengthened by the wave of mass layoffs. Dude, how many times have we like covered mass layoffs? I feel like we cover mass layoffs every single episode this year, and we're like 31 weeks into the new year, maybe
Yeah.
32. Just been a layoff, like it feels every week.
Yeah, it's just
Our studio closing.
it's like every week there's something, and it gets to a point where like I don't want to be covering a layoff every week. So it's like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
like filter out some stuff. There was layoffs this week at a smaller studio that we didn't cover, but it's like, there's can't avoid it. And so yeah, I mean, I totally get the sentiment, and it's like I think it makes sense. Might as well just unionize and get fair compensation and kind of equal rights, and might as well. I mean, because just ain't nobody safe, like what I'm saying.
Yeah, it makes no sense. So these quotes are essentially from Kevin, correct? I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
Blizzard senior software engineer Kevin said. All right. So Kevin continued to go on, and keep in mind this is basically Activision Blizzard is hold up. I'll lose my train of thought. There we are. We are organizing? Is that where I'm at?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they start off both quotes with we. So I was like, okay. So sorry, I scrolled up to figure out where he was. All right. Kevin continued on saying that we organize not just ourselves, but also our fellow employees who make the game with us. By ensuring we're all treated fairly in our own workplace, we can focus ourselves on our shared passion, making great video games. Everybody says that nowadays. So, our union effort predates the recent layoffs, but witnessing them firsthand only served to solidify how important this effort is for the entire gaming industry. With our union contract, we can have a voice to minimize the impact of future layoffs and ensure we retain talent and knowledge whenever possible. So, World of Warcraft GG, the union will now elect a representative bargaining committee from the World of Warcraft team and survey its members to understand which issues need prioritizing. And in quotes, Vig went ahead and said, Vigi? Yeah, Vigi, I think is correct word.
Vijay. That's a very
Vijay.
bold prediction. Vijay.
First name Kevin goes with like a French last. I don't know. While the team's voice will determine what we bargain for, we've also had numerous conversations with each other in the past few months. We suspect our top bargaining items will include layoff protections, improved work from home policies, transparency around performance and promotions, and pay adjustments to align with the expensive areas we live.
Oh, baby.
I
Coming
think
out
that's pretty fair.
swinging. Yeah. I
I
think
think
it's
that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Most of the time, like pay is pretty much dictated by the expensive areas you're in, cost of living. But
Mm.
also, if you unionize, you can definitely bargain more.
Yeah,
Like
more
we're in a
power.
union, we're all together. If you don't pay us all equally, we're out. That kind of thing. And then you get to a tier system where it's like based on years of experience and not as much on merit. However, you can get kicked out of the union if you don't if you're not successful with your job. It's a very
Yeah.
interesting concept.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
It's all
sure.
negotiation because you're stronger in numbers. It reminds me, dude, not to say unions are full of apes, but like Planet of the Apes when he has the stick and he's doing like sign language, he's communicating. He's like, he goes, ape snaps, and he goes, are weak, together strong. And he ties all the other sticks together and it won't break. It's like, I'm super excited about the next Planet of the Apes movie, by the way. Let me go ahead and crush out this last bit of the article here. So, game industry unions building momentum in the United States. So, workers have formed a number of unions within Activision Blizzard and Microsoft in recent years. Prior to the Call of Duty and World of Warcraft maker being acquired by Microsoft, QA staff at Raven Software and Blizzard Albany succeeded in their attempt to organize despite reports of interference. More than 300 QA workers at Bethesda also voted to unionize in January 2023, becoming the first union to form within Microsoft. I remember that. That was insane.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of unions, dude. Like even Amazon's been getting unions. I think Chick-fil-A. What's it, Chick-fil-A? Starbucks possibly. I mean, there's a lot of people that are getting unions.
Yeah.
Walmart, some Walmarts out there. Yeah. But those efforts
Union.
have continued post-merger. In March 2024, roughly 600 QA workers at Activision Blizzard formed the largest certified union in U.S. video game history when they established AQAU, Bethesda Game Studio Montreal. Employees are also attempting to unionize and filed for certifications with the Quebec Labor Board in June 2024. Now, almost 750 employees have unionized across Blizzard Entertainment and Bethesda in the past 2 days.
Big unions,
Okay,
bro. Unions.
we're we're getting all unionized basically.
Listen, I'm just
Kind of
saying
mental.
this QA union, they missed the opportunity of an Aqua CWA. I know it wouldn't have made sense in the acronym, but like, hey, Aqua just sounds like it
It
just
does go
sounds
hard,
better,
doesn't
dude. I
it?
don't know.
It does kind of go hard.
It wouldn't make sense in the
Yeah.
acronym, but I'm just hear me out. Like you just say hey, Aqua Union, like here we are. Did you not, dude? Like, and we're gonna cover the next article. Spoiler alert, next article we're talking about Bethesda Union. It's like there's this and the Bethesda sort of unions. It's like it's crazy to think about how much just in this past week like unions have been pushed and these giant unions. And it's so funny when you say wall to wall, it's literally wall to wall, like everybody's on board. So
Yeah. First, it started with like individual studios themselves at different locations that
yeah,
are predominantly proficient in one or two aspects or different IPs of the entire company. And now it's just going to each one of the cities one by one by one.
yeah,
And I think it's that kind of like that realization that okay, without this one city in the United States did it, like Austin was able to do it in Texas. That's kind of wild. Well, we should be able to do it for sure in California, and then they do it in California. It's like, okay, what's going on the East Coast, or what's going on in Europe, or up in Canada?
right,
So this is going to become more the norm, and it's very interesting to see it happen in such a new industry. I would think most of the unions that I can think of are they're definitely trade skills, which I think video games can kind of classify as a trade skill. But when I think of unions, I think more of like welders, pipe
yeah,
fitters, mechanical contractors, duct workers, or
mm,
what's a good one? I mean, those are all good, but like yeah, they're carpenters, I guess, painters, like
yeah.
concrete
I don't know.
workers.
I was thinking of coal miners, but
Ste
I don't know
Yeah,
the
coal
coal
miners
mine.
have unions.
Yeah.
Yeah, coal miners, oilers. There's ooh, I keep forgetting it. I had it twice, and then you interrupt me. um,
My bad, bro.
trains.
Train,
The
so
the the
gotcha.
freights have like some of the best unions in the entire country. They have like crazy good benefits after 15 years when you're finally like you can
Shoot.
basically retire.
You're
It's
like
like
vested.
it's insane. Oh yeah, vested. It's so wild. They're
Yeah.
untouchable, but they also have like it's not a monopoly, it's like a territorial monopoly, a controlled monopoly, where like each
Hmm.
freight line has its own section of the country
Oh, interesting. I didn't know
and they
that.
own all the tracks and then they rent them out to the other freights or commercial not commercial public transit, I guess, Amtrak and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Um,
Yeah.
bro. This is kind of unrelated, dude, but like I just want to go on an Amtrak and just cruise for 5 hours. bring your laptop out the window.
You could totally do that.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it'd be sick.
Well, I sent you that video, didn't I?
Yeah, dude.
About Amtrak. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
yo,
a
we could take an
vibe, dude.
Amtrak to
It's a
Glacier
vibe.
National Park, bro. It's like from Chicago. It's like
Yeah.
18 hours, but we could get like one of those what's it called, like the little private rooms to yourself with the bed
Yeah.
and stuff. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I mean, it's pretty sick. It's like your own kind of little area, and you could just kind of, you know,
Oh yeah,
bring
man.
a book, bring your Game Boy Advance, like going crazy.
Do whatever you want. Yeah, they got Wi-Fi, everything on the trains. They're sick.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. Dude. The idea of just like sitting on there and just not having to worry about anything for a little while and just
Yeah.
get some work done or something sounds nice.
I've taken the train from Charlotte, well, and Raleigh all the way up to Washington D.C.
Oh yeah.
like in college because I had a really piece of crap car and I wouldn't make it up there and I didn't have enough money to fly. So I was like, all right, let's take the train. The route goes right to the person that I was seeing in college.
Yeah.
I was like, sick.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It honestly probably is cheaper than flying, huh? Like just hopping on a train and
Yeah. Yeah. If you fly, like if you take coach, you're spending like less than $100 there and back.
yeah, it's not bad.
I know it's like, I think it's like $60 from Charlotte to Raleigh, but that's a pretty demanding route. I recently looked up Charlotte to Atlanta. It's an all-nighter, and I think it was like $50.
It's an all-nighter. It's interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of stops, I guess.
Yeah. 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 I mean, they stop at every train station on the way. It's not like one stop to the next. They stop at the trains. It's kind of like riding the bus. Like you stop at every.
I see.
Yeah. Well, not everyone, but like bus is a little bit different because it's based on demand.
Yeah. Well, hey, dude. Taking a train from Charlotte up to Bethesda, Maryland. I wonder how long that would take, dude. I wonder, you know. This is the thing.
Find out.
You could find out one day because Bethesda, as we teased in the last article, is almost 250 devs unionized. It is the first wall-to-wall union at a Microsoft video game studio that Blizzard then followed up with on the World of Warcraft team. But yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff. So I pulled the gamesindustry.biz article, James Batchelor, but this was on, I think LA Times reported this, and especially the WoW one. Like,
I think it was even on Forbes as well.
A lot of big outlets.
I think I even saw it on like Fox. Fox
Wouldn't
News.
be surprised. Would not be surprised. But yeah, dude, everyone's covering this. It's extensive. So let's talk about hundreds of staff at Fallout and Elder Scrolls developer Bethesda Game Studios have unionized, joining the Communication Workers of America. CWA announced the formation of the new union via its website, adding that 241 developers either signed a union authorization card or used an online portal to indicate they wanted union representation. CWA's post on X, formerly known as Twitter, indicates the new union, one BGS USA, represents a majority of developers across Bethesda Game Studios, Dallas, Rockville, and Austin. This is the third ZeniMax. Wait, what was that?
I said Rockville, Maryland. That's where the train stop was.
I was saying, dude. This is right there. Right there. This is the third ZeniMax-owned studio to unionize with this organization, following Bethesda Game Studios Montreal last month, known as One BGS Montreal, and ZeniMax Workers. CWA added that Microsoft, which owns Bethesda parent ZeniMax, has already recognized the union. According to the announcement, this is the, quote, first wall-to-wall union at a Microsoft video game studio, meaning that it represents a range of workers regardless of their job, including artists, engineers, designers, and programmers. We are so excited to announce our union at Bethesda Game Studios and join the movement sweeping across the video games industry, said Mandy Parker, senior system designer and member of the CWA. It is clear that every worker can benefit from bringing democracy into the workplace and securing a protected voice on the job. We're thrilled to get down to brass tacks and win a fair contract, proving that our unity is a source of real power to positively shape our workers' conditions, our lives, and the company as a whole. CWA also represents unions within studios within Activision Blizzard, which is also owned by Microsoft. Latter entered a labor neutralization agreement with the union in July of 2022, and which added workers to Bethesda's parent ZeniMax back in May. Other CWA game unions can be found at Sega of America and Stranger Things VR developer Tender Claws. Back in May, Microsoft shut down 4 ZeniMax-owned studios, including Hi-Fi Rush, Creator Tango Gameworks, and Redfall developer Arcane Austin. Rest in peace. Can't believe it's been a few months already.
RIP. It's crazy how they closed it down, too.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, that's good enough. I'm out. It's like, what?
Yep.
This is a good game, guys.
But dude, look, it's like we were saying in the last article, dude. When there's uncertainty like this, it's like it's kind of the best option. I feel like it's just try and unionize, kind of try to be one, have as much power as you can.
Yeah, it's. I mean, this what does she say? We're excited to announce our union to join the movement sweeping the video game industry. I mean, that's just a statement that is going to resonate with anybody that's been paying attention because there's been so many freaking layoffs, dude.
Yeah.
Like the first start of the week, it felt like there was 20,000 people laid off in one company, and then it was literally like Microsoft got laid people off. That's not even their Xbox division. Twitter laid everybody off. There was Apple. There was Facebook was another big one, and they just kept laying more and more off. And then it was like then there was divisions of those umbrellas. It was like Meta then had layoffs in their VR department after they launched or hyped up their VR new headsets. Same thing with Apple. Same thing with
Yeah.
like Facebook. All this kind of crap. It was insane. Um, Microsoft doing that with Xbox now and all the different studios. It's just not good
Yeah.
for the modern worker
Yeah.
um, in tech, and it's just not fair to them. So to create a union is really all they can do is to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Really,
I mean, it's
yeah,
it's pure unadulterated facts, I would say. Like, look, it's like kind of all you got at this point. But I think certainly this could set a precedent. Have some maybe smaller studios consider this if they can. Maybe even bigger studios be like, hey, there's big names doing this now, dude. Like these wall to wall unions. Maybe this is something for us to consider. And I feel like we'll see maybe a little bit of a domino effect if maybe some other developers maybe jump on board with a union because yeah, to have two big companies like this just all of a sudden just be like, bam, we're gonna
yeah.
unionize
It was
this.
definitely coordinated too
Yeah.
because they got to have like context between each other, just based on the nature of being under the umbrella of Xbox and Microsoft.
Yeah,
Just
it's true.
you
Yeah.
know, they might have met each other at like conferences and stuff. It's like you know what, we should probably strike Microsoft at the same time to show even a stronger like unity than
Yeah.
we could by one studio because it's not like one studio's problem now. Like it was showing, it's just Bethesda Game Studios in Montreal. It's like no, let's do the entirety of Bethesda Studios. Let's do the
Yeah.
entirety of Activision and Blizzard. It's a very interesting concept, and I think that's really the only way you can protect yourself, especially with the way these. I don't know, man. Like these massive tech giants with feels like unlimited money right now and laying off everybody, and then the next month reporting quarterly earnings higher than it's ever been, and then the stock market rallies and the CEOs get all this money, and then they start bragging about it. It's like, dude, that's messed up. You laid off 20,000 people and you're celebrating about it
I'm
because
saying,
you were
man.
able to get what, like $50 million bonus per executive. Like, come on, it's not cool.
Yeah. It's like it makes you think like, what are we really doing here, dude? It's like yeah, but then when you step back and think about it, it's like yeah, that's I did just realizing how kind of these companies are focusing on these like year over year growths and kind of what are we seeing much growth? And it's like they don't. It's like all right, it's time to clear house on some studios that don't deserve it. Let's go. Like
Yeah, I mean,
so,
the other thing is too, it's just a capitalistic point of view when you have companies that have to get that positive, that green number of growth every single quarter. Otherwise, their stocks just plummet or the investors pull out. They start losing everything. It's just it's kind of a snowball effect. And I think they try to do whatever they can to prevent that from happening. And if that means laying off like 10,000 or more employees, then it is what it is, kind of thing.
it is what it is. You hate it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I
oh
think it's messed up ultimately, and I think unionization is probably the right thing to do when you're at this level.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
you need to have like you need to become unfireable. You need to have some type of like licensing processes. That's one of the reasons why unionization and like trade skills matter so much because a lot of the plumbers, welders, like duct workers and construction, they have licenses that protect them because it's like you can't just go fire these people and then expect to go pick somebody off the street. Like that's
Yeah.
not how it works.
Yep.
Like you know when you have a good plumber and you know when you have a bad plumber.
Yeah. It's
That's
true.
just what like it's gonna show up. You pay the right money for the good plumber because the good plumber can demand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that just goes with any trade skill.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
true. There's good
I kind
developers
of
out there. There's good designers out
exactly.
there.
Yeah,
There's good
pay
good
the good ones.
yeah.
and help the bad ones become good ones. It's that simple.
And
That's how business should be
if you
done.
make a breakout hit, you don't punish them. You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't shut down a studio after like Hi-Fi Rush comes out and makes an excellent game, wins awards, ton of recognition, and then close them down because you're just like, okay, that's all we
Well,
needed from you.
there's a couple other
Like,
crap studios, but hey, we gotta
yeah,
include this one for some reason. It's like,
yeah. There's a lot of. I remember that rant that we had like 2 months ago. You're gonna close Hi-Fi Rush Studio, and then leave on a couple other ones that I think you and I agreed was kind of trash, and they haven't put out anything good in a while.
yeah,
Whatever,
yeah. This
whatever,
doesn't make
man.
sense, dude. It's like they just literally just threw up a dartboard and they were like, all right, which section? All right, we'll do the ZeniMax section, and they just yeet, just throwing darts
Yeet.
and
Yeah, or what? Who was it? Ubisoft went ahead and just started selling different divisions of their their company. Just like, okay, bye. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? They're
it's
in a
like,
different trouble altogether, though.
oh
Yeah,
man, it's
whatever.
it's just a mess sometimes, Mike, and especially this past year, dude. There's been a lot of mess going on in this industry, and but yeah, dude, it's good
Yeah.
to see. Look, it's good to see new studios forming, but it's also
Yes, it
good to
is.
see people at this point just trying to take matters into their own hands and just be like, look, this is the kind of
Yeah.
let's just try and get as much control as we can, you know, because you just never know. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, one can probably argue that because these corporations are so big and kind of soulless with the way they handle things, it's like it's only down to the numbers. It's not about down to the people, a part of it. I think we're seeing more and more execs. I don't know the exact reason why they're leaving. They could be leaving for greed for all I know. I don't know them on a personal level. But the train of thought, like, I want to believe that some of them have been leaving to create their own studio because of what they saw happen under the corporations that I saw. Like, for example, we just covered like Blue Scarab being formed. Helldivers 2 went through that huge mess, and Battlefield had pretty bad circumstances go through it. So those people going and just being like, you know what, I'm done with this big corporation stuff. Let's go create our own thing. I feel like that's a very strong thing that people do when they're creating something new. They leave because their current company is pissing them off a little, or they're like, this atmosphere is toxic. I want to go do something that's better. And then they take their friends with them. They're like good,
yeah,
like productive members of the team to create something new, which is why I mentioned the non compete stuff. Because with a non compete, you couldn't do that. You can go create your own thing. Now you can, September. So I think it's just a good opportunity, and there's going to be a lot of change happening in the workforce in general. And I think it starts with the gaming industry. Then it's
yeah.
going to go into like fast food workers. Then it's going to go into like restaurant trains. There's and all these other. I think eventually everybody's going to be unionized, so long as this capitalist extreme scenario keeps happening.
You go to the
I
airports,
don't know.
the flight attendants unionize. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, and I just realized I said all that while wearing a Rage Against the Machine shirt. So
what the fuck?
so if anybody that's ever listened to Zach De La Rocha talk about corporations and greed
Yeah,
and power,
the ultimate
I think
ban
you,
right there.
I
That
think you
stuff.
understand where my point of view is in terms of this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, this thing, like, I'm unfortunately out of articles.
Well, that's okay because we're kind of unfortunately out of time,
True. True.
and I think this is a good little time back. I was struggling a little bit with words, but we're getting
Bro.
better.
Back in
We're
the
coming
swing of it,
back.
dude.
2 weeks off. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I'm
How's it
I'm looking
say?
forward to the coming weeks. I think it's gonna be a little bit more relaxed,
Yeah, for
a little
sure.
bit more intentional, and a lot more fun.
Next week, dude.
Maybe,
Start of
yeah,
August. The start of August.
yes,
What kind of
sir.
August
We
games you
do.
got?
Yeah, for anybody that's just joined us, what we do at the start of every month is we cover new and upcoming games. So we talk about the release dates of everything that's going on. We also post in Discord. Discord's been kind of slow, mostly because I've been busy out of my freaking mind, and I don't think I've really played any video games in a while. But I used to use it to just jam, like get the
Yeah.
boys in there, send a voice channel, and play a bunch of different games. So we got to revitalize it a little bit. Dead
Gotta
chat, the
reinvigorate.
meme.
Yeah, dead chat. Dead chat. That's
Dead
fine.
chat.
Get an
Yeah,
undead or rise from the ashes, you know, as they say.
yeah. Dude, I haven't even been really on like I haven't even been on Twitter all that much. Just like
So,
doom scrolling and posting. I
I was
posted a
gonna
couple
say,
pictures
yeah.
of my travels in Montana, but
Yeah, I was gonna
man,
say it's been a. It's I noticed that recently. I was like, it's been kind of quiet on the Mad Mike Twitter account. But yeah, it's
yeah,
good to see a couple posts recently.
yeah, it's been a while. I need to get back on there and start shit posting again. I try not to post too
Yeah.
much. I think the most recent one I posted was just like comments and stuff
Yeah.
about like Halo and the story of Halo. I know Kadaddle, one of the dudes that I know through the Halo sphere, he posted about how the trailer for Halo 5, where Master Chief was wearing the robe and stuff,
Yeah.
looked like super tough when he was out in the desert. And then the giant guardian comes out of the ground, looked
Right.
amazing. But none of that was in the video game. So I
It's
like,
a good point.
yeah, I mentioned how for Halo 5, it felt as though the marketing team, the PR team, was completely separated from the developers, like entirely.
Yeah.
The the look of Master Chief wasn't the same. The art style wasn't the same. This is like in the promotional content. The
Right.
artwork wasn't the same. None of the trailers were the same. I listened to the entire podcast leading up to the release. Like I was invested, dude. And none of it mattered. None of it was tied in. I think Forward Unto Dawn also released in between Halo 4 and 5. Don't
Yeah, I
don't
can't remember
quote me on that.
exactly. It
I
might have been
c-
before four. I can't remember.
hold on, let's find out. Forward Unto Dawn
It was after
release
2012. Then
date. It was October 5th, 2012.
was it
There were a
2012?
couple
Okay.
of books as well, and I did audio books for that. And let's see, Halo 5 release date. I'll do Halo
2015.
4 hit. Yeah, it's
Halo 4
2015.
was. Oh, I remember it was election
Halo
day.
Okay,
Remember
Halo
that?
4 was November 6th, 2012.
No.
And I remember too because I think I went and I voted and then I played Halo 4
No.
all night long.
I
And
just
I
remember
remember
being
hating
election
it.
day.
But I still played it, you know.
Oh, dude, that
Uh
game.
it gained on me after a while. Like Big Team Battle on that game is awesome. But so that was November 6th it released. So okay, so Forward Unto Dawn, the first episode was a month before.
So
So I was
right
wrong
before
there. But
4,
there
yeah.
was a podcast for Halo 5, and none of that tied into the campaign story at all. I was like, what the heck, man?
Fortunate.
That was borderline false advertising, by the way.
Sounds like it.
It was really
It's-
close to false advertising. A lot of people that played Halo 5, if you look at like the initial reviews of Halo fanboys on YouTube, you can still find them where they talk about their full review. Like, I just finished Halo 5 and here's my thoughts kind of video.
yeah.
They were all like, none of this made sense. Nothing was promised. Everything was out of the ordinary. It was all stupid. Like, it was a terrible, terrible campaign.
Yeah,
Easily
that's
the
what I've
worst in the
heard.
franchise.
Yeah.
But
And then you got the heavy aim. Enough said, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Heavy
I
aim,
know
dude.
people still are just numb to that too. The problem with it, man, is like the problem with heavy aim just in general, or the problem with stick drift, the problem with like anything like look acceleration is if you play one game only, like in one genre, and you don't play anything else, you'll never notice it because to you it's the norm.
Right.
Like you can get used to it. But the moment you go from like you can't go from Halo 5 playing every single month to then switching like every single month 24/7 to then switching to like Apex Legends and not feel like the aim is broken. And you can't go back. And it's to me, it's quite literally switching from like mouse and keyboard to controller. That's how different it feels to me because I play so many different varieties of shooters. But a lot of people that just played Halo 5, they never played anything else. It's the
Yeah,
same people
it's
that you
crazy.
know that like when they play NCAA football or they play Madden, that's all they play.
Right,
So
yeah.
when they go switch to like a racing game, they don't know any different, you
It's
know?
true, dude, yeah. It's very true.
Yeah.
Like the more you play, the more just kind of just understand what's good, what's not. It's crazy.
100%, dude. 150%. But I think that's enough ranting for right now. I think we should go ahead, let the people go. We taken up enough of your time. I think this has been a good episode back. Forgive us for not being around last week. Next week we're going to be covering new and upcoming games for August. Pretty excited about that. And I don't know what to really add, Kyle. Like I get to see you this weekend. That's gonna be pretty
Yeah,
dope.
dude.
But
I'm excited about that.
yeah,
Good
it's gonna be a good
trip.
time. But yeah, let's let him go. I'm gonna go see if I can finish the rest of my McFlurry Went to Mickey D's. I'm trying to get nice and fat and then burn it all off in the winter like I usually do. I swear, man, I get skinnier in the winter than I do in the summer. It's like I fatten up in the summer, and then when I do a little bit of exercise, I realize like, oh crap, I'm too out of shape. I need to go snowboarding. If I'm fat and I'm up on the mountain, I'm gonna die. So then I go and get on like a treadmill for 30 minutes.
It's funny.
Yeah, but it's because I enjoy McDonald's in the summer. Anyhow,
Who doesn't, dude? Who doesn't? Most people probably, but hey, I'm right there with you, dude.
yeah,
Mickey D's for life, baby.
kidding, dude.
Let's go.
No kid, bro. Let's let him go. I need to go play some classic Xbox controller stuff
Oh yes,
and play some games. But all right, let's go ahead. My name is Michael Anthony. It's my co-host right here is Kyle Heath. This is the M2 podcast. We appreciate you tuning in. Anything you want to check out, links are in the description below with timestamps. Please show some love and support, and we'll let you go. So see you later. Kyle has a new haircut. He looks freaking awesome. So peace out.
Bye, everyone.
Keep gaming.
Unionize. Do it.
Unionize.